Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, squirrels, werewolves, vampires, and trolls. Welcome to the Barron Landscapes Halloween edition. Whoa! Oh my goodness. Get yourself some wolfsbane. Pull off a piece of Uncle Mordred. Sit down on your couch or your coffin. Get ready for Barren Landscapes. How is everybody tonight? Good, I hope. I hope you're not being too terribly bothered by the ghouls and ghosties, monsters coming to your door. Really strange Halloween. Athena and I don't have any ghouls or ghoulies or monsters coming to our door. Even though Hiawatha decided to do trick-or-treating, Athena and I decided to leave the lights off outside. We've even got the drapes pulled so that they don't see the studio lights and think that that's an open invitation for trick-or-treating. It's a shame. I hope that we'll be back to a new kind of normal by next Halloween. It's one of my absolute favorite holidays. Halloween, and then Christmas, and then of course April Fool's Day. Those are my favorite holidays. Thanks to Brian Anderson, Rand Woodbury, and our warm-up theme tonight with all the thunder and lightning and spooky ooky stuff was from Justin Clements. It's called Rainy Night Road. Thank you, Justin, for that. It's Friday again. For those of you that haven't been keeping track, choose not to keep track, have stopped keeping track. It is Friday. We're here every Friday. We may take a break next Friday. We'll see how that goes. It's a strain. We've been at this. This is show number 28. And so we've been at this for 6.5 months. And that's every week, every Friday for 6.5 months. We've been here with you, and you've been here with us. And we absolutely love it. But gosh, guys, I'm tired. You saw me post that tonight. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. What with the virus, the elections, our jobs being gone, I am just absolutely exhausted. How about you? Are you guys tired? I'll bet you are. There's a new thing called COVID fatigue, and we're feeling it in a lot of different ways. I want to talk about in future shows a thing that is called screen fatigue, and we're all feeling it. From Zoom, our meetings, how we're doing everything online. I'm even being watched by you and sharing this time of ours online. So I thought tonight, special Friday, October 30th, the night before Halloween, I thought we would do something spooky tonight. Not too far off the beaten path for Barron landscapes. You know, same old Barron landscapes. Excuse me. It's a wet cough. I got thinking about spooky ooky stuff. Things that might be scary. Things that might go bump in the night. And then I realized that this Halloween, I'm not so sure there's anything that can stop us. I don't think there's anything that can stop us from being afraid of everything. Of things that are out there that are bigger than us, that we can't see, that are out to get us. And so I thought, what in the world do you do for a spook show on Halloween? And I realized, after 6.5 months of this crazy spook show we've been living, that maybe some stories. And now, I don't know if I would call them ghost stories, or spirits, or entities, or phenomena, whatever you want to call it. Some strange things have happened to Athena and I. I'll tell you just a couple. One time we were looking out the window of our house at our car, the Dragon Wagon. It was a little white, kind of a suburban wagon. And Athena had some dream catchers and feathers and things hanging from the mirror. And we looked out at the car, and inside the car, windows up, doors locked, no breeze in the air, everything on her rearview mirror was swinging back and forth like crazy. Do you remember that, babe? It was absolutely crazy. Of course, that might have been the area we were living in, because that whole area turned out to be really, really wild with phenomenal activity. It seemed that almost the moment we got the keys to that new house, strange things began happening. Now, that particular house needed a lot of tender love and care, and so we cleaned it before we moved in from top to bottom. We cleaned every appliance, every room. There was absolutely nothing in that house that shouldn't be. Well, that's what we thought. So, we were given the key to the house. And almost immediately upon receipt of those keys, strange things began happening. Things that we really could not explain. Things that you wouldn't expect. To happen at all. Things that seemingly were out of our control. Now this happened another time. In that particular house, the ghosties and ghoulies did not care who was around. They would make their appearance known no matter who the company was that was over. We had ceramic items float in the air. We had doors opening and closing, locks locking and unlocking, footprints appearing in dust on the floor. The dust is another story entirely. When we moved into the current house, again, we were given the key to the house. And on our very first load, before we had anything at all moved into the house, we came over. And the strange things had happened again. Because when we got into this house and we opened the front door for the very first time, we were met with every cabinet, every door, and every drawer open in this house. It was really pretty strange. But nothing we hadn't come to expect already from our domiciles when we got the keys, and strange things almost begin happening immediately. If you don't mind, I'm going to get just a little comfortable here. Thank you. Well, anyway, weird things always happen, no matter where we are. Now, nothing else has happened in this particular house that's been really strange. But I want to go back. I want to go back to the prior house. Oh, this isn't part of that story. No. This is coming up. The prior house got violent, got creepy. We're not sure what happened, but we announced that we were moving. And once we announced that we were moving, it was almost as if you could feel a presence in the air. It was palpable. You could touch it. You could feel it. It was like nothing you ever hope to experience. This is my ghost trap. Everybody has one. It's really a pocket square, something you learn when you're as gentrified as I. In the house, we had a can. And that can was up in the pantry on the top shelf. And Athena and I were talking about moving, the move coming up, and packing, and that we'd be leaving soon. And that can in that pantry began to shake and shiver. It began to quake and quiver. That can in that pantry was filled with needles and pins. As we spoke, the can began to vibrate, taking on a life of its own, until finally it flew out of the pantry at us. Every pin, every needle preceded it. I yelled, "Hit the deck," and we did, and no one was hurt. But no one was near that can. Nobody threw those pins and needles. But something did. Each house we've lived in, except one, had something going on. Some twine attached. Probably had something to do with us. Eh, Athena? I would imagine. Each and every one of us is attached. Now think about this. We're attached in this life to each other. Maggie, you and I, Dante, you and I, Athena and I, Yancey, you and I, we're all attached in this life. It's as if there was a thin thread running between us, from me to you and you to me. Almost as if in one way or another, you and I were completely attached. Now I imagine, and you've heard me talk about universality, I imagine that no matter what, we go on being attached. You and I, and Yancy, and Maggie, and Athena, and Dante, and, well, all of us. Parts of us, somehow, inexplicably, forever, joined. One to the other. Or so I would think. Strange needle, isn't it? It comes from a strange place. These needles, you see, are specially made. They have a purpose. They're not made for magic. This needle was made for a hot air balloon. That's right. These are the needles that sew a hot air balloon. Oh, but that's not all they're good for. No, indeed it's not. Here, take a look. Wow! Trick or treat. You know, we should really be careful what we ask for when we ask for trick or treat. You never know what you're going to get. Could get some nice treats, but at my house, you're just as likely to get a trick. One of my favorites. Have you seen me do this before? Athena's shaking her head. In our house, when you ask for a trick or treat, and the grandkids know this, you're just as likely to get a trick as you are a treat. And with the grandkids, they'll tell you, just as likely to get both. Just imagine if somebody showed up to the door and that needle was through my tongue. It's not as cool being through a balloon. Well, there you have it. Barron Landscapes. Halloween edition. Ah! Ah! Did I freak you out a little bit? So I know sometimes I freak me out a little bit. Athena reminded me we have kids watching this. But someday, when we're live again, you'll get to see my pièce de résistance. 6.5 months, you guys. You want to hear something really scary? Do you want to end the show on a terrifying note? Do you? All right. But don't say I didn't warn you. Here it comes. Are you ready? I don't think you are. Let me tell you something that will haunt your nights. It's election day in 5 days, y'all. Oh my God! Talk about scary. 4 days. I think this is 4 days. Well, hey, you guys, be safe out there tonight. We love you. I hope you liked our Halloween farce. It's been scary enough without Halloween. I hope you had some fun with us. If you want to hear more stories of our houses, and I guess our kids can tell you it really happened. The stories of our houses are true. I know we're supposed to be skeptics, and I am if it's not happening to me. But boy, you should hear some of our stories. Gets pretty freaky. You guys be well. Take care. Wear a mask. Distance. Wash your hands. We absolutely love you. Again, we'd like to thank the folks that gave us our music, and we're going to leave tonight to the tune of "In the House" by a group that Rand Woodbury put together called "In the Audience," and this is their "In the House." Hey guys, we'll see you soon. I don't know if it'll be next week, but we'll see you soon. Keep an eye out. #Barron Landscapes. See us on YouTube. Find us on Facebook.
Share with your friends.
We love you. Share with your friends. Bring some people into the group. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Have a good one.